What do you think about the 45 years imprisonment law?
45 years, man. You're a bad man, I say you're a criminal, and you murder be people, man, without a cause, man. Yeah, man, I could have even me, man, because you know what I will say about sometimes.
Seems like it is a life imprisonment.
I think that is fair.
If I do crime, I will do time.
45 years.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think it depends on the crime.
That law should have been put in place years ago.
So I think when it is so much, person will think twice.
40 years, and 3/4 their life that gone, because most people now live to 60.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the boy Buzmal Ryan here. As I said, you know what the next video will be about. So this is actually the next video. So yeah, we're there in a half a tree. So yeah, we just go around, you know, the tree and go ask a certain people, go ask a number of people about, you know, them think about the new law that passed. So yeah, so we're out there. Yeah, so we're gonna hear what the people them say. Okay. Alright.
Yes, boss. So them say up to 45 years in prison for certain crime. What do you think about that? Giving a man 45 years?
What can happen?
Well, it doesn't necessarily like criminal activities, like, you know, certain type of killing, you know.
Well, if I do crime, I will do time.
So you said the 45, you don't think the 45 years go long?
No, if I do shot, too short.
I think that is fair.
Well, you can say that, yeah.
Is it for like persons that like sexually assault or murder, or what is it about?
Well, you can say that, yeah, we'll say that, yeah.
I think it is fair, because if you do something wrong, for example, the news that is going around now with the guy that raped and killed the 9-year-old, he died, but if he didn't die, I think 45 years would be fair for him.
Well, I think that, you know, that law should have been put in place years ago. Persons would think twice about their actions, and we know that people tend to do things in anger and might act out, but I think it's a good initiative, and hopefully Jamaica will be better in terms of these laws in passing. We all want to see a better Jamaica, lower crime rates, and therefore with this put in place, I hope and guarantee, well, I do hope, we can't guarantee that, you know, persons will not, you know, will not try to hurt each other, but at the same time, they would think about their actions.
Crimes are rampant in Jamaica, you know, too much people are dead, you know. So in order for the system and the youth them realize how serious this is and the impact that it cause on the country, we would have said with Parliament tell them that the right choices them do. 45 years, man. You're a bad man, I say you're a criminal and you murder be people, man, without a cause, man. Yeah, man, I could have even me, man, because you know what I will say about sometimes. Yeah.
So I think when it is so much, person will think twice. 45 years, so they will think twice.
So you think it's okay, 45 years?
Yeah, should even get more for taking a life.
45 years imprisonment for a man like a human being. That's really hectic still, you see me? Yeah, bad. Yeah, really hectic. 45 years in an institution, a whole heap of things can happen to you. Yeah. So I deal with 40 years, and 3/4 their life that gone, because most people now live to 75. Yeah. So, yeah.
45 years for a person in prison, that seems like it is a life imprisonment.
Life imprisonment.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel knowing that a person could spend half of their life or most of their life in prison for doing a crime? What do you think about that? What do you feel?
Well, it is not good, you know. It is not good for them.
You think that's too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
45 years.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think it depends on the crime. Still, every crime get different time. So, for example, they must say you have some people know where I get 3 years for rape.
Yeah.
Like mine, that's a crazy thing. You see me?
Yeah.
Not even 45 years wouldn't suffice for that. You see me?
You say alive.
Yeah, man. Life and death. You see me? But as it relates to like gun charge, you see me, murder, stuff like that, 45 years. As we say, I don't think it should be a one and all. It's one shoes fit all type of situation.
But generally still, relentless are despite of the crime, you see me?
Yeah.
How do you feel, you know, say a person are going to spend half of their life or majority of their life in a prison?
Well, to be honest, you know, if I must say, the government would have put this in place as a what do they call it now, a deterrent.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So you were already aware at the time that you're putting your life at risk to do that crime. You get the message. So you already know, say, yo, if we get catch, which nobody now plan to get catch, but in the event that you do get caught, isn't it? You know, say, a 45 years you're going to do minimum.
So you think the criminal them fear this new law?
Well, yeah, when someone know the business. If a man feel like he want to do a crime, a man going to just do a crime. For the general populace, I feel like them will take it more serious. And everybody can manage prison life and everybody want that type of life there. So I'm going to say, in 45 years you go do that, that I go make a man deter to say, you know, I'm not going to bother go that route, they better try a different level, try a different style to make it.
So you don't think the lawmakers them too harsh or them lack emotional intelligence and them to put themselves in other shoes there and say, yo, who don't want that stuff? Me not sure that. No, do that. You know, the law they kind of, you don't think them are go too hard?
Well, as I said, that's why I say it can't go for everybody. It have to be a case by case because I know every crime would deserve 45 years. You get what I'm saying?
Them say business is a, them say crime is a business, you know, because if you never crime, like judge, lawyers, you know, police, you know, and
it would have no work.
Would have no work. So you think it's a business? What do you think about that?
I mean, everything is a business. Even school is a business. They make students feel so them can repeat just to make extra money. Yeah, me go university, so I know. Is what I say. I will see that live. So it is a business, but there's two sides to it. It can be beneficial business-wise, but also it is a way to kind of get the country on the right track. You get what I say? Yeah. So you can look on it from two angles.
All right. So instead of the 45 years law, the Jimmy imprisonment, if you had the opportunity, you know, to reason with the lawmakers, or you had the opportunity to make the law, what would you do instead of, you know, giving a person 45 years or putting the 45 year law?
Alright, right now, to be honest, rehabilitation is what the country needs. Most criminals get caught in these type of situations because of want, or poverty or stuff like that. So rehabilitation is what we need. A lot of people come out from prison and them better than how they went in. So it works for some people, but the general consensus around it is not good. So not everybody will benefit from it.
So alright, so you say body at once. So you think forensic scientists and forensic psychologists they should really take mental status of a person at the time and what they might put through at the time in consideration when solving crime?
Yeah, definitely, because that's why I'm always check on your motive. What's the reason to do the crime? If your motive is just, you know, say me a bad man, and from you go prison 3-4 times already, you look like you love this thing. Alright, hold it. You know what I say? But if you realize your circumstances, you see me, your first time or even second, but we understand say you fall from certain background where we say, alright, you never have it. You see me, mother, father dead. You see me, you try to look out for your youth. Your woman alone. You see me, life not nice right now. You can get a partner, you can see, as I said, that is a perfect person for putting a certain type of rehabilitation to make them realize, alright, watch you know, she say you can change, you know, if you have the right commitment to something better. You know what I'm saying? As the circumstances change. So those are things that can help them type of people. So, I mean, that's why I say it can't be a one shoes fit all. If you have a case by case situation, or look at the situation and the motive.
Murder and them thing there. Alright, so the rape, no, like all the brother rape the little young girl there. So the 45 years the well paid.
Yeah, man.
So a murderer now, you say 45 years go for a murderer. So.
Yeah, but a murder again can come down to rape inexcusable right on the clock regardless. You know, you see, murder, again, your motive can play in a murder same way. You know what I mean? Because remember say if a man catch a woman cheating, you know, them say what them call it, some emotional thing. When them say, you know, your brain kind of plug out. You see me? So anything goes right there. So naturally you might do a little time, but alright, we understand. So we cut it down versus somebody will go do a robbery and kill the person. You get me? I say, obviously, you did already have that in mind. You see me? You did already go on a crime, so your motive different. So it's naturally a 45-year-old that do well for you. You see me? Yeah.
The robbery and you need to be said.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Alright, so thank you, General, for your honest opinion.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
Alright. Criminal, them have a fear than you liar.
So you mean, a man on got prison 45 years? 45 years and nothing, you know? So I feel like a man now, if I do something more discreet, I might think more positive about what I do. Because life, people life not just come saying, because I'm not careful to do 45 years, can't bring back a man age, a man life.
You don't think the lawmakers them too harsh with the law? You don't think them people more lenient?
I want to say them harsh. Because we have to find a solution for this problem we are going now, and it's very drastic. I'm not gonna lie, it's very drastic. When you see a look at girl how she died. Man rape her and kill her. You could like say, if you not kill back the man there, I'm going to put 45 years because it's still not get a people, still not get a satisfaction. So I feel like I the right thing to do. But in some case, like if you just find like a man with a gun and like the charge of the punt and them thing there, like you never kill a man out like a shoot a man, them can't have a look at lenience and them thing there. I look at petty robbery and them thing, they can't lenience and them thing. But if I start kill people, I take people life and I suck up people, I rape girl and I murder them, 45 years that man, I'm to you man. So yes no man. So yes man. Yes my father.
No, I don't think it's too harsh. Because once you take somebody's life, you won't thinking about that.
So do you think, you want to say something, bro? Okay, so you think making economical change and adjustment can help solve crime or reduce crime rate?
Yes, it can.
By providing more better jobs that people are actually interested in it.
That's right.
Okay, that's right. So some people say that crime is a business because if it wasn't for crime, like judge, lawyers and police and soldiers wouldn't have any job. Do you think so?
It's a business for those who are killing persons.
It's a business for those
who are killing persons. Yes.
Okay. Alright, so do you think all these lawmakers lack emotional intelligence and they should put themselves in criminals' shoes too, and they should at least anticipate the feeling of being in prison for 45 years and then they could make a law like that?
If the person is innocent, that is different, but once a person commit a crime.
Okay. So do you think that criminals fear this new law?
45 years is a long time.
So do you think they fear it?
I don't think they fear it.
Okay, so if you could make a law, suggest a law to the government to replace the 45 years, what would you say?
If they bring back hanging, I think they will think twice. Think twice.
You would double that?
If they bring back hanging, I think they won't kill so much.
Oh, so hanging. So you think people more fear hanging than 45-year imprisonment?
I think they would.
Okay. Thank you for your honest opinion, okay? Alright, so how do you feel knowing that a person has spent more, but that's half of them lifetime in prison? Alright, you think so creating better jobs in the economy and things are more enticing, jobs are more enticing to people to lower the crime rate?
Because I think I will start from the school because they go to some man do now. Because why a man going to take up a 9 to 5?
Yeah.
When I look promote a chopping and something.
Yeah.
A man can go by line and make a million for that. Yeah. While you go sit down in the office, I get 12,000 for 2 weeks. Right. Some people don't see that you're there. Most people still like it. As you say, you have to go for school, you have to teach people to find a school, is it?
So you think crime is a business because, so may I ask that being that if we think certain circumstances in the society promote crime, like you think if there's no criminal police and such and afterwards?
Yeah, I still need them. We need crime to domestic violence to me.
Alright.
Them man say,
alright, so you think the people who make these laws, they lack emotional intelligence, meaning say them should have know, they anticipate the feeling where a man would have feel spending 45 years behind bars and change it. You think they should have do that?
You can't use feelings on the law. If you use feelings on the law, the law is not too soft. You have to do what's best to society to look up law, you see?
Alright, so you think say it's fair to condemn a human being for a simple mistake? I mean, I would say simple, but that is not simple. But for a mistake, when everyone makes mistake.
Yeah, but what kind of mistake? You can't tell me say you have a rape you can't say rape?
Yeah man, I mean man.
If you rape a 9-year-old like what you do with you.
Alright.
You can't come back on that.
Yeah.
You would have killed before you look at me and the lady.
Yeah.
I know you're saying baptized. What if you forgive him?
Yeah.
No, you can't come back on that. You know what you do?
Alright. Let me ask you now. Alright, you think forensic scientists like people who study crime, you think if them could have used like psychology and everything then to find out what really hurt a person or cause them to commit such crime, you think if them take crime to the level there where them start study them think them first, them could have helped solve crime, if them think about what a person really got to what cause them to commit the crime?
Listen. Them know science and the politicians, all them know what to do.
Yeah.
To cut down crime.
Yeah.
But the thing is, number one, if you're not help from the community, you're not really going to
Alright, no. So you know, and this jungle justice thing, you don't really believe in that jungle justice?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you need it.
So you think jungle justice, alright, if a bad man know him or do a crime, you see, and by the time he come out of the community, where that community have been, citizens or people that are running them and attacking, you think that would lower the crime rate?
You know you're not going to see a lower crime rate. Not necessarily a lower crime rate, but sometimes that needed.
That needed.
Yeah, but not every time. Depends on what person, no?
Yeah.
Like when you be 9-year-old, him, anything I'm team you forget. Anything I'm team.
Time did before.
Yeah, but the only thing, like watching all the videos, because people love video. Like, if people video, you know, people just like watching someone, you know, and you probably go to prison. Isn't it? Yeah. That's the next thing, so people love video.
What's the man name? What's the man name?
Carty.
Alright, Carty. So yeah, you can pick up yourself, you know, and know so yeah, so you think you're the start.
Yeah man, right after 3 bus center man.
Yeah man, alright.
Shouldn't be, is it?
Alright, so let us spice the shit. Do you feel in yourself personally that a person should spend part of life most half of their life in prison?
Alright, let me say, it's a bittersweet issue, right? Because I mean, persons might do things unintentionally, you know. I mean, say for instance, a teenager. They're really trying to find themselves, you know, and they might do things that they don't intend on doing. They don't intend for it, or they might just act out of anger at a point in time, and something might happen to someone. They might hurt someone due to the anger, because I have family members who they act out of anger, so they might do things out of anger but not intentionally. And
the lawmakers lack emotional intelligence and they're too harsh?
no, I think they're strengthening these rules to encourage lower crimes, to encourage persons to think about their actions before committing it. So it's a bit harsh, but I think that, you know, yeah, we do need tough love at times.
Okay. Alright, so some people say that crime is not. So don't you think that if there is no crime, there would be no work or no job?
Crime is a what? Can you repeat that?
Some people say that crime is a business. Don't you think that if there is no crime, there will be no job for any lawyer, any judge, any minister of security, or any police or any soldiers?
I wouldn't say that. There's always means and ways of getting things done, and I don't think that someone needs to commit a crime for persons to find or for job opportunities to arise. So I do disagree with that notion.
So you had the opportunity to create a law. What law would you put in place to replace that 45-year law imprisonment? That imprisonment, 45-year imprisonment. What would you do? What law would you put in place to replace that?
reforming, because I would say put things in place to encourage our youth to do better.
Make some economical changes.
Yeah, right. Like create job opportunities, create a reforming center for these.
Yeah.
So some people say crime is a business. You think that there must be companies that never look down on certain judge and police and certain people who don't have any job. So you think crime is a business?
Muda say no, you know. It don't happen, but me not support it that way. Cause we still need law-abiding citizens and the police them to do them work. Cause without the police and the law and everybody, there could never be a justice system. You see what I mean?
So if you were a lawman, like give me some way you that implement where could have replaced the 45 years.
Right now. But I try to find some labor force, like working. I don't know. Yeah man, farming. Cause some of them don't know where, some of them want rehabilitate. They don't know, they don't have a skill. Some of them have a 9 to 5. So they don't do nothing positive. So you see, if the government them can find some solution for people that is in like a crime people or people that is problem people, find some kind of trades or skills or some farming where every day out of 45 before they do 45 years and do 10 years I just straight labor. Most of them are make some corn, plant some corn crops, them are go build up around schools, they might get him like learn and trade, like if you don't learn and trade you can't come to prison. Like suppose one of them say he want to do mechanic, I want to say carpentry. If him not overcome carpentry like master it, like you see, he go some place and job experience, I see it. If him not master it, he could never come out. Can't come out then.
So you want to release him back in a society, in the
line of progression. Positively. So when can create a positive impact on the youth then.
So one of the things is, alright, most of the time people do crime, some of the time when you say some people they have some issues. They think if forensic scientists and forensic psychologists will study crime and things, it's like if them can find the root, like the mental needs I walk up to a person and why they do a crime. You think if you find out that and try to resolve that, you think that's going to stop crime?
To be frank, to see crime can cool down a little bit, but crime can't stop because some people have long-term violence. Like me now I grew up and me grew up now without my father and me come here so Tom Brown shoot my father and thing, and the impact that I couldn't go to school, nobody there to help me. And the only solution now me I say, yo, me have to come kill back Tom Brown because Tom Brown shoot my father, you know. So them there are some, we call it reprisal. Them there are something we are going to, we cause the crime thing going and some lane thing and the politics, because some people stupid enough. Some people stupid enough to kill for labor right, and next one stupid enough to kill for PMP. Then now look at the system and me and you can be friends, you can say show and you say power and it's all good. And we just keep the unity. If you feel like we switch and say in power tomorrow, you just change and you be I see him way, I see him love. But some people don't look on it like that. So when we look on it and see that's some people literally just violence. They have that violence issue within their system, within them.
You say it can't slow down, it can't really stop.
It can't stop.
People just have a nature.
Emotional hurt, cause there's some people, right now you have a man, he just stays a book. Two things that we do him tell us, in the business what I'm after, can't hang him all after. He just come and shoot you, and the business come and say, you know a long time about it, you know when do me auntie, you know me do my mother, know who about it, and who somebody there, so they have long-term issue, but that's not the way, so the best thing that I want the country to do now, everybody, they must repent and turn to Christ. The Savior and know, say, yo, there must be a better way, because that can be the solution. Be baptized and repent and change in life, lifestyle, the way of their life.
Thank you for the answer.
Alright, my brother. give thanks again.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you think making economical changes like providing jobs that people really love or like could reduce the crime rate?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So some people say that crime is a business, or if no one is dying and there are no criminals, well, police and soldier and the parlor business, they don't have any work. Do you think so? Crime is a business? Is crime a business to you?
No, crime is not a business.
Okay.
Crime is a devil hack. Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think judges and lawmakers, they are too harsh for giving such long sentence?
You know, to me,
Yeah.
what these young people need,
Yeah.
they need counseling.
Need counseling?
Yes. They need counseling more than one time.
Yeah.
And probably the counsel will just change them ways.
Change their ways.
Yes.
Okay.
And we don't have less crime.
Okay. So what so basically you're saying that the 45 years is too long. So if you had the chance to make a law, or you could for instance, give the lawmakers a suggestion, what would you say to them instead of this 45 years long imprisonment? What could they implement?
Well, so for instance, then put them into prison for a while, but not in 45 years.
Not 45
In the time they are in the prison, they should have somebody counseling these young guys.
Okay.
You understand?
So is it only young guys that do crime?
Not only young guys, big, old, everybody. They need somebody to counsel them. Because sometimes, wants cause a lot of things. Wants.
Yeah.
Yes. Because they need things and they can't get it.
Yeah.
So turn out, you see every year, an hungry man. An angry man is an hungry whatever man.
Yeah.
So sometimes these guys and these people, they need somebody they need a counseling. If they have more counseling to counsel these people, I think they will change.
Okay.
And the crime will go down.
Okay, so do you think that the criminals fear this new law, this 45 years imprisonment law?
If they fear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you think that will let a person think twice?
They will fear it because they don't want to leave them family and friends to go into prison for 45 years.
You said a very important thing a while ago.
Yeah.
Counseling. Okay, so forensic scientists and people that study law and crime.
Yeah.
For instance, you think that if they take a trauma approach and a psychological approach to crime, being that they think about what caused the person to do such act. I think if they look at crime in that way and they could look at it in that specific way and counsel people based on their traumatic their trauma that caused them to commit such crime. I think if they do that, that will lessen the crime.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
So they can go ahead and try that and see how it works for them.
Yeah.
Because some person they are mental.
Yeah.
And they look alright, but spiritually they have a mental problem there.
Yeah.
Because it can cause from probably the life that they go through.
Yeah. So you think the lawmaker them too harsh from that one there?
Yeah, man, the lawmaker them are too harsh, man.
Alright. Yeah. So you think making some economical change, like providing jobs that people more interested in, you see me can make crime really go down?
Well, most likely, because guess what, from youths have work and job and them make money.
Yeah.
With certain crime.
Yeah.
So I youth that got prison already and
Whoa.
to do crime.
Yeah.
You see me I say, and from start work and make money, I prison.
Okay, you see me?
I'm only need one, man.
Yeah, life you free, you see? Alright. So, you think say crime is a business, cause them say, if no crime now go on, soldier and police now work, So you think say, crime really provide money in a sense for them kind of public sector work, are they? What you think?
Well, most of them, because guess what?
Yeah.
Criminal activity start from the government.
Yeah?
Police and them thing there.
Yeah, corruption.
Yeah, me and you know say police corrupt.
Yeah.
And police stop your road and you're illegal and then take a food.
Yeah.
And let you through.
Alright.
You see me? So crime is a business in a Jamaica.
Yeah.
A big business.
Yeah, some man dead and yeah, man dead funeral program, parlor, collect money, all of them something there is a business.
It's a business.
Alright. Alright, my boss. Rate that one there, rate that. You see me I say? So you think these people who have met the crime, you think them lack emotional intelligence, that them should have put themselves in our criminal shoes and say, yo, 45 years is that too bad for me. So you think them lack emotional intelligence, why them say 45 years?
Yeah, them would have lack emotional, yes, because guess what, when they never in the shoes, they really feel it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, probably most of them in it, probably grew up around it, but they've never been in it, you understand?
Yeah.
So if them going in the shoes, they would have feel it.
And
you feel like them lack emotional intelligence.
Yeah, and you think you should have condemn alright, everybody make mistakes, so you think them should have condemn a person's life for making a mistake when everybody does, you know, like if you never sin cast the first stone, you think them should have condemn a man for so long in a prison because of a mistake?
Well, no, we understand say a man of faith facing consequences in crime when you go this no. 45 years are too much one man.
Too much, half of your life gone. Yeah.
You get 10 years imprisonment, you most likely have to learn and change.
Yeah.
Or say even 15 years.
Yeah.
45 years of whole if you have a ton of all.
Yes, sir, 13 like Addy.
Yeah, or even 13 like Addy.
Yeah, can I change Addy, you know?
See the vibes can't tell change fully.
Yeah. Alright, alright. So you think the criminal them fear the new law? You think that go kind of make the criminal them cool down the killing and the, you know, the robbery and rare?
Well, man have to eat and man no fear, you know.
Ah, what?
You see me?
Yeah.
So that never really stop now.
Yeah.
You understand? Just by hearing about the crime,
yeah.
Really never stop now.
Alright, watch you again now. So forensic scientists, like people who study crime, you see me? Alright. You think if them use, alright, psychological aspects or psychological tools in them studying of the crime, like for instance, a particular traumatic thing happened to a person where make them commit certain crime, like yo, a man do something to a man mother and a man go back for him. So you think if them use them understanding, like looking into things like that, it could have really helped to stop crime? Instead of just giving some harsh law like 45 years in prison, you think if them really study the science and what really happen in a person's mind make them commit certain crime, you think if them study that and try to help person with trauma, you think that would have reduced the crime?
Well, probably a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Probably a bit would have reduced the crime a bit.
Yeah. But not fully.
Yeah, stop.
Alright, Mijay. You say a part of life, of the cycle.
Just a part of life.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
Alright, my boss. Okay, so we have a next lady here. You go by the name of?
Designer Dom Prada.
Okay. So what do you think about giving a person 45 years in prison for a certain crime?
I think 45 years is about 3 or 4 lifetime, okay? And for any crime less than murder, it is not just, okay? So there is no crime that merits that but murder, okay? Murder is the highest sin, okay? And it is the highest crime. That is when you wipe out a life and it don't even get a second chance, okay? So any other sin, 15 years is a life sentence. Giving somebody 4 times a life sentence, it has to be murder. Robbing a bank don't merit that. So robbing a petty crime still don't merit that. However, rape is also a high crime, but some idolatry have it as a way of capture a woman and force them in marriage, force marriage, and then murder the woman. All that, would merit per time, 15 years per time, depends on how many accounts of the crime. But giving a person for a £1 woolly act 45 years is wrong.
Yes. Do you think the lawmakers are too harsh?
Many lawmakers don't know the Leviticus godly law. That is the problem. So if they read the Leviticus God the way how to judge a case and make it just, then they can be good lawyers. But they're into idolatry, which is a prejudice against true God believers like Christians and paganism like Satanism. So if they are at the courthouse and the high courts, you can't get justice. No, so 45 years will be wickedness for a minor crime.
Okay, some people say that this crime is a business. Do you think that crime is a business?
Many people and corrupt nations and government make crime a business. So they force civilians to go into crime because they get that much money in prison for a prisoner. For example, in the UK, the prison system would get £70,000 per year for one prisoner. So they're making money, so they're forcing people into crime.
Okay, so you think that there could be economical adjustments that would decrease the crime level?
Economical adjustment would be encouraging people to work for their wages, and that would cut down crime. But the system, if a young man commit himself, have a prison sentence, come back out, they don't want to give them a second chance to work and learn our wages. They want them to stay unemployed, and they can't buy clothes or food or pay rent with unemployment. So you have to give a first time crime committer a second go at being a decent citizen and civilian citizen. You can't just ban them out of normal working ability and employment and then think will recommit a crime and stay buried in prison. And Satanism, which is other nations who don't like black people or black men, when they get the idea to arrest one or frame you up, they don't want you back out in society. Because many of them want to take our black countries from us. From the moment God gave prosperity, they lost our countries and they lost our prosperity. So if we bang up our black people into outer society to put freedom race into to capture our hard work, what we earn. And then they have a system named the AI, which is a flaming trick that can frame up any black person with a criminal offense to bang them away. So you have to be careful. Them have to be careful how they're making law. An unsafe criminal mind shouldn't be judged. A Christian mind, honest people with integrity and high morals to make law.
Okay, so do you think the criminals fear this new law?
Pardon?
Do you think criminals fear this new law?
Criminals fear this new law. Well, they will fear it, but that's not the way to address the issue or stop them committing crime. Committing crime, especially minor crimes, you should give them a flogging. And some of them, you can penalize them with a fine, a heavy fine. Now when you affect a man money, that make him think twice to commit a crime.
Okay, so say if you could make a law, or you could have suggest a law to the lawmakers to address crime, instead of using this 45-year imprisonment strategy, what would you say to them, or what advice would you give to them?
For me to personally think about punishing an harsh crime is because the person lazy why they commit crime. So that person, I will give them community duties to work somewhere, hard work, man work, building, for example, building apartment blocks for small income. Yes, when they get the work and that kind of punishment, then think twice about violating society. help the government and build apartment blocks, under supervision of authority, and also give them a heavy fine. So by the time they work the hard, half their money pay back the fine, and then by the time they get released, then get that little money, that hard work, then think twice about committing those kind of crime.
Okay, you just state that, for example, like people don't want to work, so, and we know that lack of employment can cause crime. So, okay, so do you think that if government try to look at the mental reason why people do crime, do you think that could help the crime rate? Like, for instance, a person, don't have
money. Because without money, you can't have food. And when people are pushed to find food, which is one of the main necessary need of a human life, food, shelter, clothing, and if you can't find it, and you need money to get it, people do crime to get it. So work is the answer.
For the mental and the psychological reason as to why a person commit a crime.
Financial lack. They want to be rich, but they don't want to work, some of them. So learn them the method to work. They're lazy, some of them. So you start them on part-time work, evening class, trade work, bring them round. So if you lock them up in a prison, you end them life. They come out as 80-year-old and can't really do much. So I suggest if them even do petty crime now, and then don't have a skill, you give them one in prison. When they come out, they should try and be a decent citizen. Give them the second chance.
Okay, so you're saying that for petty crime, a person don't need to spend a lot.
No.
But definitely for rape, you
murder.
Okay, so you said for rape or murder.
But not for that long either.
Okay, so
you have to go back to the 15-year or the 30-year to life. You know what I mean? Okay? And in some case, you have to apply for, the 45 years is still better than the death sentence. Like a death sentence is the injection that put them to death back. But it depends on the hierarchy.
Okay, so you can give them a 15 years for a self-reflection where you can sit in prison and look back at what they did and you think that will change them. They will come out into society with a different mindset.
Not just lock up with punishment. Just lock up and eat and watch TV and build muscles. Hit no head, no body. You come do more crime. Punishment, financial fine, and work, building. The government want office building or want road building, use that. Hard work. Yes.
Put them into production.
Put them into production and think twice. No longer prison car, no longer build a tower back there.
Okay, so like the president in Africa, Ibrahim Traoré, who actually put prisoners to work on a farm. You think that something like that would work?
Yeah, even farming. Yes. Then they don't want to do a hard work, then they build themselves. But if you don't punish people when they do a hard crime, like murder, big fraudulence, robbery, you know what I mean? They think they can get away. They spend some time like a movie in prison, eat 3-course meal and come back home, muscle up to do some more. That don't work.
Okay, so thank you for sharing your views, okay?
Yeah, and this is Royal Dawn, okay? Black people, we are under terrorism attack that will, even if God give us a title, they say we can't use the biggest one them. Our enemy want to kill our race off, and we can't fall into their hands. So if God make anybody king or queen, so if we make God work it out himself. Right? And the enemy left a heist title and kill the black race. I blame the black race for their dirty works. Alright, so we all have to use wisdom. God bless.